Did you get to?
No.
Here.
'Cause I haven't done a picture yet. I
didn't
gave her my
want a
phone.
picture.
I gave her the phone just a minute ago.
You don't have to take a picture, Jeff. Whoa, he's getting after it. Oh, it's ball.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker podcast brought to you by Stanfield Hunting Outfitters. I'm trying to do my intro, ladies. And Andy.
Boom.
3, 2, 1, boom. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world famous Andy Shaver. And with us today, the hood rat from Los Angeles, my daughter-in-law Jessy Shaver is with us. And you know it's close to hunting season if Michelle showed up at the Big Honker Lodge.
I'm here. Cheers.
You'll just
I'm
be
here.
thankful I'm here.
Cheers, cheers, I'm here. And you made it home.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jessy, you're not street smart.
No.
And you got on a tram of public transportation in L.A. and went through the whole area of L.A., and you were shocked that you seen someone snorting drugs.
Get it right. It's called the Metro. But
The Metro, excuse me.
I didn't see somebody snort drugs on the Metro.
Where was it at?
On the beach.
In Long Beach. I thought Long Beach was a Shangri-La of greatness.
Yeah, especially after L.A. It was much better.
L.A. is a shithole.
No,
Yes,
Long
it
Beach
is.
was. I mean, Long Beach
I know, but
was
LA
much better than L.A.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I'm sure Long Beach has got some shitty places too. Any
sure.
place controlled by liberals is going to have open public drug use, shitty public transportation.
Yeah.
Now, y'all got screwed because y'all paid for your public transportation when everybody else was going free.
Didn't. No, we didn't.
You
I
didn't
told
pay
Andy.
either?
I said, no, that guy said, I've never paid. So I told Mom, I said, good thing we didn't pay. We would have wanted our money back.
Would you have asked for your money back?
Could you have gotten it back?
No.
What was it, $1.75?
Yeah.
Why did you not
We
pay
didn't
it?
know how to pay.
Oh.
We asked that guy. We said how, because when we asked him if we could go, he was like, "Oh yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just don't talk to the junkies. Just mind your own business. Don't
that didn't
look
throw up
at
a red flag?
'em." I knew there was going to be junkies on there.
Don't
I
talk to
mean,
'em.
you know, there's going to be. I'm
But
sure
that
there
didn't
is
throw
in
up
the
a red
subway
flag.
in New York. No. I mean, I knew there was going to be junkies, but I just figured, yeah, mind your own business. Then the whole time we're on the thing, Mom keeps, you see that guy over there? You see that? Is that a Mike Tyson? This guy's standing
Got a Mike
right
Tyson tattoo?
Mom could have held his hand the whole time, and she's like, does he have a Mike Tyson tattoo on? I'm like, Mom, shut up. Do you want to get us killed? Don't say that. We'll talk about it after.
Your mom has less street cred than you do.
Does that remind you of?
Yeah, that's Michelle got drunk in Vegas one time and was making fun of a guy's
Just once.
outfit.
Oh,
And it was really, I was embarrassed.
no, you were scared.
Yes.
Kind of.
Well, Mom did that several times, and in my mind, I'm like, they're about to go off on us. They're about to hear her, and they're about to lose their mind on us.
Yeah, because you see videos all the time. Of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
You
What'd
know.
you say about me?
Oh, Michelle was loud.
The good
Michelle's-
thing, the funny thing is before they left to go out, Jessy was wearing this nice dress.
Yeah, I was.
And her mom was like, listen, if we're taking public transportation, you might want to get it out. You might want to change clothes.
She kept telling me, I really wish you would change. And I'm like, I'm going to L.A. I want to look
I wanna
nice
look
in
hot.
L.A., you know? I want to look good in L.A.
Jessy, is this one of
And-
these dresses and pumps you wear and stuff I see you wear around here sometimes?
I wasn't wearing any pumps.
Well, sometimes you have,
I wasn't.
but you have
It was
before.
just a purple, cute.
Was it
sundress.
slutty dress or motherly dress?
It's my purple dress.
A
It's a
motherly
nice,
dress.
I mean, it's
I mean,
a
I
nice
wore
dress.
it to meet the teacher.
Yeah.
Well, we
So-
saw what Eddie Blackburn wore to me or PTO. Anything goes
Fuck
here.
around and find out.
But I wore that dress. We'd gone to my show that morning, so I wore that dress, and the whole time Mom kept saying, I really wish you would change. And I was like, it'll be fine.
It's fine.
And then later I started getting in my head, and I was like, maybe I should.
So you was going to wear a cocktail dress.
It wasn't, I wouldn't call
Just
it
a
a
sundress?
cocktail
She
dress.
went
Yeah,
to
sundress.
PTO in it.
Well,
Sundress. So, anyways, I changed, and then we got on the thing, and Mom was like, you should probably turn your wedding ring around. And I was like, she said, don't be flashing that around. And then after.
and that Andy, and they still went through with this.
Yeah.
This is what's
Yeah.
They're
crazy.
already
they're
on
on the
it.
bus.
Yeah.
This
And there's
is
no
an
better,
hour in.
there's
Oh,
no
you-
good place to get off. There is absolutely, like,
Yeah,
you're
you weren't
on
getting
it.
off and you're in the place you're gonna get picked up by Uber.
No, you're on it. You're on it. And then we're boxed in. Mike Tyson's right here, this 600-pound lady in a wheelchair, like, and she can't go down the aisle. So she's literally blocking the doors off. And we just started freaking out. Then when we got back to the hotel that night, I get to the bar. Mom's like, I got to go up and use the bathroom. Come with me. And I'm like, no, I'm not going with you. I'm going to the bar. And she's like, just come on. We'll go to the bar after. I'm like, no, you go up. I'm getting a drink. So I get to the bar and I sit down and I'm like, and the bartender goes, long day? I said, I've had a long day. And he says, can I start you off with a drink of water? Y'all been walking around all day? I said, no, we took the metro. And he goes, you took the metro? And I'm like, yeah. And he says, I won't even take the metro, and I'm a man. And then this other old man, and I mean, he looked like
He said, oh, honey, who told you to do that?
Yeah, he did. He looked at me. He said, oh, honey, who told you should do that? I said, we had 2 people tell us it'd be fine. And I'm like, well, obviously it was fine. We made it back okay.
What the
We're
person
here.
told them was, you'll be fine. Don't talk to anybody and don't look at anybody and you'll be fine. Technically, he did not lie.
No.
They made it out just fine.
Those are things
he's
though,
not
that
a
you
liar.
hear. They should have been a red flag.
But did you die?
But then tell him what the conductor said
Conductor.
Oh, yeah.
whenever he got because they make stops and
a
I was
lot of
wrong.
stops.
It
There was
wasn't
probably-
it wasn't a bus. It's the metro.
more like
It's kind of like a subway.
Tram.
It's a tram.
It said train
is
on the
what it
deal. But
is.
yes, it's like a tram. It's got the cables up top.
But
yeah,
he's in a glass. He's in a
he
glass
locks
box.
himself
He's in a
this
bulletproof
box.
glass.
Yeah,
So
he
he's
locked
good.
himself in. So we get to about the 3rd stop, and he goes off, and
Says goes to the bathroom.
Yeah, there's like a little bathroom station that he got off, and he says, 10 minutes, I'll be right back. So then he comes back, and there's all these people on the train.
Sketchy.
And he looks at me and Mom, and he goes, y'all be careful.
Doesn't look to anybody else.
Nobody
just the
else.
2 white girls up front.
He looks at us, and he goes,
Y'all be
be
careful.
careful.
Are y'all the only white people on this bus?
No.
Was it more Hispanics, more blacks,
There was
or
a whole
whites?
lot of Hispanics. I would say probably.
Were you in
We probably were
the
the
barrio?
few. We probably were the
They were
few.
right
y'all
behind
stood
the
out.
conductor.
Y'all stood
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
At least you
I mean,
were
we're
on
dressed
camera.
nice. Everybody else looks
Oh,
like
we're
they
being
haven't
racist
bathed
here
in a
now.
week. Everybody
No,
else
no,
looks
it's
like
just
they
what's on
haven't
the
bathed
train.
in a week.
They haven't probably.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks.
And they're
Junkies.
peeing in the carpet.
Yeah. No, there was no carpet.
Just peeing on the floor.
Yeah, probably.
Your mom, I can
she's-
see this.
And
Mom melted down.
I can believe
Mom
she's
was
so
like my
straight
Mom
laced
was like my
anyways.
child. I'm really not kidding you. Mom was my child at this point. Like I kept asking her, like, "What do we do?" Blah blah. I don't know.
So she's one of those people that you see when they get stranded somewhere, they just completely fall apart.
She
and then
did.
Well,
She did.
And then they had to go from one train to the next. You go from like blue to red. You got to find the red train.
Yeah.
And Jesse, they get off and they're underground.
And that freaked us out.
Well,
That freaked us out.
and
a
they're
lot.
like-
We're underground with junkies.
So now Jesse's like, "Fuck, I got to find the red train. Like, where's the red train?"
And I'm like,
there's
Mom,
no
where's the red
signs.
train? I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't know.
And I'm like, Mom, pull yourself together.
It matters.
Then we saw this elevator, and there's a red dot above the elevator. So I'm like, okay, maybe you take that elevator.
oh fuck, getting on the elevator down below really is bad.
Oh, just wait.
This gets real good. So there's this junkie lady that's following us, and I'd already seen her ask. There was a decent looking Mexican guy on the train, and she said I heard her say, "I hate to ask you, but blah blah blah." So I was like, "Oh great, she's hitting him up for money, or who knows." So she's following us around. So I'm like, she's eyeballed us. She's probably gonna ask us for money. So I'm like, Mom, I think we need to get on that elevator to get to the red one. But I'm watching this lady because she's following us. I'm like, she's going to get on this elevator with us. So Mom gets on the elevator. And that
With the
lady,
junkie.
Yeah, with the junkie. And I'm like, I'm not getting on that dang elevator. She's going to pull out a shank. She's going to get our money. I'm not getting on that elevator.
So you left your poor mom by herself.
Mom, get off
Her
of
child
Mom-
at this point.
Mom presses the emergency button.
Oh no.
there. She thinks she's pressing 2. She's actually pressing the emergency
She
button.
presses the emergency button, and I'm like, Mom, get out of there. And I grab her and I pull her out, and this junkie lady's like freaking out,
They
doesn't
scared
know
the
what
junkie.
to do. We scared her. She ran off. This guy comes over the deal. Yeah, can I help you? Can I help you? I said, we should have just started screaming, help! Get us out of here!
Where's the red?
It's kind of like, I'm thinking of like, remember on that Helter Skelter show where Charlie Manson was like Crazy Charlie? Mm-hmm. I think that's what that junkie thought Julie was. Like just crazy Julie. Like just going berserk. And like Charlie Manson said he could out crazy anybody. And that's how he got out of bad situations. That's what I'm thinking. That junkie was like, okay, they're gonna get on the elevator with me, and I'm gonna roll them up for everything they got. And then Julie starts like, you start yelling at Julie, and the junkie's like, oh fuck this, like I'm out. It's
well,
not
Mom
worth
wasn't doing anything crazy. She was literally just like not even there.
She's pressing the
So
emergency.
she would have been no
button
help
over
if
and
something
over
would
She
have
was
happened.
not there. Even one time, I'm reliving the story, telling what was going on. She was like, I don't remember that.
That's what's so funny.
She's like,
That's what's
wow.
fascinating to me is eyewitness testimony is horseshit.
Oh, it is.
Because they couldn't even remember. They argued about if they had to get on a red or a blue train for the second time.
Yeah. Or if we went up or down the stairs.
Or if they went up or down the stairs. So, like, how in the world is anybody supposed to give an eyewitness testimony during like
a terrible situation.
A robbing or something?
There are people, though, that are built where they can handle, like Zachary. Zach could have handled that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have bothered him. It wouldn't have bothered me. I might not have liked
mean,
it,
if
but
I was a
you
man,
and your
it
mom
probably wouldn't have bothered
but
me.
But your mom, Andy, would have been nervous.
I would have been nervous.
He
Your-
was nervous in Chinatown.
Your
I'm
mother,
like,
your
that was-
your mother though,
buying,
your
stolen
mother
goods,
from
though.
Vernon, Texas, is not built for this kind of stuff. Could you imagine if it would have been just your dad and your mom? Because your dad's a bargain deal. And that would have been cheap. He would have said, "Okay, I'll try that."
I think they still would have handled it better. I mean, Dad's been in a lot of fights and stuff in college. And
Well, there's fighting in college, but street
I
stuff's
mean, he
different.
can handle himself. Like
He got lost in Tijuana with Louis Beatty and Doris
And Doris
Crownover. I found
Crownover.
out yesterday.
Huh?
They were
up.
they
Tell
were
me
doing
the story.
they had to do a soul convention in El Paso, and they went across. They were
That's not Tijuana. That's Juarez.
Juarez.
Juarez, yeah.
I'm sorry. Which is there much difference?
I think there's 3 people killed more in Tijuana a year, but it's both they're both bad
But
places.
yeah, Juarez, they're in El Paso. They had to go across the border for this seminar, and like
Yeah, you're buying that shit, huh? That's what they went
They
across
took-
the border
they
for.
took-
no,
took
I
buses.
think they went across
Head
to do
doors.
like the tourist deal.
Nobody
Like
goes
the-
to Juarez unless you're
Well,
going to a
he-
whorehouse.
it was in
Don't
the
he know?
late 90s, early 2000s.
He said that they, like in New York City, where they have the hop on, hop off buses where they take you to all the touristy spots or what. They got on one of those.
There's nowhere in Juarez unless you go to eat, and they probably, because we used to go to Mexico and
There
eat
was a
across the
place,
time.
Crosby's?
Crosby's right there at wherever it was, and then I went to Garcia's in Matamoros. I've eaten there a dozen
Well,
times.
he said that they bought the bus tickets and they had,
They're 30
the
minutes
10,
apart.
the
The
10
bus
stops,
ticket
the
bus.
bus tickets, 30 minutes
They're
apart.
30 minutes apart, and Lewis had to be back in El Paso for a meeting in like 2 hours, and they started adding up like all the bus stops, and they're like, you're not gonna make it back. So Charlie got to looking on the map, and they're at like 4, and they did the math, and it's like, okay, if we go to 7 across the highway,
Not across the highway, but
Or
just,
wherever.
over there.
if
It's
we go
just
to
right there.
7
If we go to
across the way,
7,
we can shave the 2 hours. We can get back to El Paso in time. They got lost in the midst of going to 7 and was like in a market. They go into Federales and like, hey, yo
Dad
comprende,
says he
yo
sees
comprende,
all these
and they're
people
like,
in suits. And
"No
so
comprende."
He's asking them what to do, and
yep.
they finally get a guy who I guess understands them, and it's
But
like, I'll
then-
get you a taxi.
Yeah, got a taxi, and then he's like, we got to go to here. It's like a leather shop, and the guy, Charlie's like, I'm lost, obviously, but he said the guy just starts like going, like Mexicans do in Mexico, just turns here, there, and he's like, there's no way he's taking me to where I need to go. Like, I'm in the vehicle with Louis Beatty, the former superintendent,
No.
a 75-year-old lady.
But it was Louis Beatty Sr., not Louis Beatty Jr., Louis Beatty Sr.
Oh, I didn't know he had a dad.
Yeah, Dad.
Yeah, Lewis.
Yeah.
Sr. Yeah.
Dad's like, I'm in here with all these old people.
He's like, it's just gonna be me.
Oh, your
And
dad's having to take care of everything.
He's like,
Well, no, he's scared. He thinks they're about.
He
He's like,
says,
they're
if anything
taking me down an
happens,
alley. Like they're about to
it's
do
me.
some crap.
And then he does. The taxi driver takes him down an alley,
And Dad's like,
and he's
here
like,
it is.
here it is.
This is it.
and he said, where's the leather shop? And he says, just right around the corner. And he said, sure as shit. Walks out, and the leather shop was there.
You know, in Port of Arta this year, me and Michelle went back ways all over, and I never got worried about anything. But I don't worry that much.
Puerto Rico.
I feel like though.
I never got worried in Puerto Rico.
You weren't back there where we were.
Y'all were all bitching and whining. I was completely happy in
just
Puerto Rico.
that night when we got there,
The
yeah.
first night.
For 6.
Yeah.
But I never worried. I don't worry about other
would.
places. Michelle, you know I don't. We've been to a lot of shady places. The only time I got
La Brea
nervous
Tar Pits.
when you made fun of La Brea Tar Pits.
You were very
That
nervous.
made me. The guy was
Yeah.
fucking nuts.
I wasn't nervous in Puerto Rico just because we had a
I
big
never.
number.
I was
big
never.
Number.
I was
A
never.
big number of kids.
Yeah.
dude.
Well, I know.
And me and
but-
Andy would have had our hands
big
full.
All of them are kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna
I
have
don't
racing spider monkey somebody. No.
Me and Jeff.
Yeah.
We got numbers.
Yeah.
But it's
I
two.
like to feel like I'm tough.
We
but
were exhausted.
I've never been in a
So we could have really
fighting
handled it.
situation. I feel like Dad's deal though. He had that happen to him once, where
He got rolled.
Yeah.
one time when he was in college, he stumbled out of the bar drunk, and these guys were like, "Hey man,
We'll give you a ride."
No, they said your buddies over there said you're
Oh,
too
your
drunk
dad told
and
me
give
this
us
story,
give
yeah.
us a ride, give you a ride." And so yeah, I mean he was about to be in a big old bind. They got him in an alley, and Dad said, I don't remember what he
I thought he was in the car already,
he was in the car with them,
and he ended up kicking his way out.
yeah.
Your dad
yeah.
rode Bronx, so he's pretty
Yeah.
tough. He's a
he
scrappy
looked
guy.
up and realized like this is nowhere close to my apartment, and I'm in a bad way. And he got out of it, beat the guys, and got out.
There's very few times I've ever been in a spot that I was really worried about being in. Me and Michelle's been some. The one time we were in Memphis, Tennessee. Do you remember that? We was on Bill Street, and we walked down Bill Street too long. It was dark. Yeah, it was. You were too drunk to realize how bad
and
it was.
the Brown
Whatever.
Casino or whatever.
Oh, the Jerry's Nugget.
Jerry's Nugget.
Do you not remember when we got married in Vegas and that guy tells us, that black guy goes, y'all need to go to Jerry's Nugget. I went there all the time. And then we went to go get in the taxi, and the taxi guy goes, y'all aren't going to Jerry's Nugget.
He's like, I'm not taking y'all there.
Who
Y'all
told
ain't
you to go to Jerry's Nugget?
Yeah, black guy working in there. Well, yeah, his buddies are going to roll your ass when you walk in the door to that
He
place. Yeah.
Really?
And we have.
Well, that was nice of that guy.
Mm-hmm.
We've like told taxi drivers before, take us here or whatever. No, I won't. I will not do that.
We've been to some shady places, but
Tijuana.
in Tijuana, I was never scared. I was never scared in Puerto Vallarta.
Until you send us all the pictures that there was a murder in front of y'all.
I still wasn't scared.
Yeah.
You had.
They don't
Pretty good
until
narcotics
recently.
going through
They don't
you.
jack with people down there that are innocent. Now they got the whole town locked
I
down.
mean,
It's
obviously
bad.
they jacked with somebody when you were there, so.
He was probably selling drugs. I ain't selling drugs. It's like when we go to Cancun and stuff. I don't worry about stuff like that.
But
Puerto
then-
Rico actually is probably one of the safest
Yeah,
big cities.
I felt
I,
safe
safe
I
there.
felt safer there than I did the last time I was in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I felt safer than I did last time I was in Los Angeles. I never felt unsafe in New York. Boston, I have never ever felt any unsafe in Boston at all.
I've never felt unsafe in Mexico other than Tijuana because
Me and-
I had my wits to me
Yeah.
and was starving because I couldn't have food.
I've been in some places in Dallas that I've been nervous. The other day when me and Andy went through the airport at 6:30 in the morning, and it was pitch black and all the lights were out and electricity was out on part of it. I thought, wonder what the fuck's fixing to happen here.
In the airport?
They were all
Yeah.
flooding.
Yeah, and then the flood happened.
Because the American canceled everything. So we parked at American's terminal. Well, when we showed up, nobody's working at American because there's no flights coming in.
Wait, when
So
y'all
they-
were in Dallas?
Yeah, when we went to
When
pick up
y'all-
the truck.
oh.
When we would pick up the truck at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, American was not rolling. So Terminal A was just blacked out. Ooh,
There was nobody there at all.
this is
They
interesting.
know about that, about airports not being functional at certain
See,
hours in the
that's
morning.
more your street shit that worries me about you,
Yeah.
Jesse.
You're the one who told me they stay open all night.
They do stay open all night.
No, not
Not-
to check
You
in.
have to get
Well,
in.
hold on. First off,
Yeah.
before we blow this on my ass, Jesse and Andy go to St. Lucia last year. I drop them off at 11 o'clock at night. Jesse and Andy are tighter than bark on
That
a fucking
wasn't
tree.
what it was.
I offered to buy your hotel
That
room.
wasn't what it was.
They said, no, we're not going to spend $200 to sleep for 3 hours, is exactly what your husband
Right.
told me.
And
I
then-
said, I will do it. I drop them off at the airport. They're going to go check in. Well, they don't check nobody in from 11 o'clock till 4 in the morning. So they had to sleep in the hotel.
They have those comfy deals on the other side. So we were like, we'll get to the other side because we had luggage for 7 nights. Mm-hmm. So I was like, we're not hauling all this luggage up to a hotel room to sleep for 2 hours, then all the way back down to catch a ride to drag all this stuff back.
Well, at 4:30 in the
That's
morning
why
when I
we
talked
didn't
to you
wanna
before
do
you got
it.
on the plane, you said, I wish we would have got a hotel room.
Yeah.
So, see there?
Yeah.
Hotel
Wish we
and
would
Uber.
have.
And
But
y'all-
we thought we were going to get through security and go sleep in a recliner on the other side.
Well, I dropped y'all off and I got to Richland Hills, maybe, not even outside of Fort Worth. And I said, did y'all get through security? Well,
Nope.
Nope,
I
they
said,
closed
well,
an hour ago.
I
And
said,
what
do y'all
did I
want me to
say?
drive back and get y'all to a hotel? No.
But it wasn't about.
I
But that's
understand
it.
that.
It wasn't about the hotel. It was about.
The
I'm only going to
convenience
have
of it.
3. I'm only going to be there for a couple hours.
It sure have been nice.
I'd have taken those
Every
2
time me and
hours.
Michelle see homeless people in the airport, I go, yep, there's Andy and Jesse right
They're
there.
not homeless.
It
They're
was.
just
We were with
resting.
all the homeless.
They're just resting.
But you know, you think about that, just like me and Andy's situation the other day. We get to Minneapolis to fly home. They canceled our flight. They're going to fly us the next afternoon at 6 o'clock to Phoenix, Arizona. And then we're going to stay in Phoenix until Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Me and Andy would just now probably be getting back to Knox City if we went by America.
Maybe.
First of all, we had the means to get a hotel room
Right.
or to rent a car. What about the poor person that's traveling that's got $62
That
on
part
them?
hurts my
Yeah.
heart.
That doesn't have a
that planned exactly for what they were,
Yeah.
where
Yes.
they were going. That was like when they put us up in Miami, like they paid for the hotel room, like all that was good. We had to pay for an Uber to get there. We had to pay for an Uber the next day to get back. They gave us, was it $10 a person credit for meals?
Oh wow.
I feel like it was more. I feel like it was 20.
15 or 20.
regardless, you're
It's not enough.
Either way, it
and then
wasn't
Andy had a
enough.
$200
Yeah.
steak.
It wasn't enough
And
to cover the fucking
everything
steak.
was closed. Everything,
Right.
because we
Except for
didn't
the
get
most
there
expensive
except for
restaurant.
the most expensive restaurant in the freaking hotel and the most expensive food I've ever eaten in my life.
Well, there's a parent there that's got 2 kids that's trying to fly home for their parents' funeral or something that have no extra money at all.
Yeah.
And the city got together and got a GoFundMe page to fly them there and gave them $100. We had a local guy here that went to shoot a TV show one time in San Francisco. He didn't have no money. He don't have no credit card, and whatever money he had was it. And you feel bad for those people. I mean, because it's a horrible situation for those people that don't. They just can't go rent a car and come in there. I mean, and they're stuck. And they're stuck for 2 or 3 days in the airport with no money and no food. I'll tell you a little airport secret. My mom's flying home for her 60th high school reunion.
Is she really gonna do it?
I bought her airplane ticket
Does that
yesterday.
mean she's gonna do it?
So anyways,
better.
I bought her airplane ticket, and she's like, "Now, Jeffrey, I'm going to send you this $500. Well, I'm not worried about the money, Mom. Just go do this deal." But here's the thing: is I told Mom, I said, "You need to go to Wichita Falls." She's flying out of Wichita, and I said, "You need to go to American Airlines and see what you're going to need." My mom doesn't have a smartphone. She can't get
Flip
a
phone?
text. She can't get an email. How's she going to get her boarding pass and shit? Everything you do is on your phone these days.
You're gonna do it?
Jesse's room key was on her phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened. I can check in on the.
I mean, we could.
No.
We also got. No, I actually. Yeah.
Right.
No,
I used my
yeah.
phone.
Yeah, like me and
But
Mom.
I mean,
got
they gave us hard keys too.
me and Mom are going to New York in October, and I got a deal the other day from. You can go ahead and pre-check into your hotel room right now. Okay.
Already?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 6 weeks out or 8 weeks out now. But my mom.
But you can go to those kiosks. She can go to that kiosk when she gets there and get them printed out.
You do not know my mom. So, anyways, I told her. I said you need to go to American, go there before the flight, and see if they can print you out your boarding pass and stuff, and do that for you.
Like you mean days before?
Yes.
Well, as soon as
You have
can.
never dealt with my mom.
She's gonna drive from Wichita and go
She
all the
lives
way
in
to
Wichita.
Dallas.
No. She's flying out of
Oh,
Wichita. She tells me, she goes, "I've flown out that airport before. I think I can find it." Well, Mom, it hasn't.
think I can find
I said it hasn't
Well,
left.
could you
Go
imagine
anywhere.
her though? I'm thinking you're sending her to DFW.
She
Okay.
doesn't
No.
have
Wichita's
ways.
much better.
No, she's going to Wichita. She wanted to fly to Dallas. First of all, she wanted Tony to drive her.
You would be taking.
She told Tony,
some
"You're
of-
having a great time. You'll just have the best time ever." I told Tony it's the 3rd weekend of dove season. I said, "I can work it out here where you don't have to be here."
And he's like, no, you
He's like,
can't.
no.
No, you really need me. You really
So-
need me that
I
weekend.
sense everything's gonna break.
he's getting her ticket, and he's telling me, and he's gonna fly Mom, and she's gonna fly to Love Field to Kansas City. And I said, "Tony, fly out of Wichita and get on American Airlines." It's gonna be hard for her, crippled ass, going through the hotel room, blah blah. I mean, to the airport. I said, "Tony, if she goes to Wichita Falls, it's a small gate like Abilene. It's very simple.
Yeah.
She can have them know she can't walk very good. They can pick her up in a cart right
can get a
there and take her to
wheelchair.
her
Yeah.
next gate."
cart.
So, anyways,
Heck, and even if they do that, I'm sure they'll help her.
Yes.
They can help her do her
well,
ticket and
Tony
stuff.
argues with me, and then he goes, "Oh, it's actually $50 cheaper to fly to Wichita Falls." I said, "There you go." So he
Wow.
tells
That
my
was meant to
mom.
be.
He tells my mom, and my mom's like, "Oh, I don't need you to drive me up here. I can drive and take myself." And so she'll be okay.
worked out.
But anyways, I told her, I said, "Mom."
now.
But anyways, I was like, "Listen, you don't have a text, and you don't have an email." She doesn't have an email. She's one of 70 people in the whole world that doesn't have an email. I said, "They can, if you'll go up there and explain to her and share your driver's license." And I said, "If you have any problems, let me know, and I'll call up there since it's on my card." And so, anyways,
Well, why don't you be a good Samaritan and get your email on there, and then you just take care of it all?
And
she
then-
doesn't have my email.
Well,
She
but
doesn't-
you
she
could
doesn't-
have.
She
You
doesn't
could
have a
hooked
way
up.
of
doesn't have a
putting
smartphone.
an email on her phone.
She
Well,
has,
who made the reservations is what I mean. No, I'm saying like
It's
that
on
way
my
you
email.
get the updates and
It-
stuff,
that-
and that
that-
way you know everything.
that I do know that, but
do
she's
do
got to get on the airplane, and she doesn't have the capability of saying here. And there's 97-year-old people out there that can use a fucking phone, but my mom can't.
Well, she does choose to. You can walk them through. I mean, you or
Yeah, I
Tony
think
could.
she'll-
You can go
She
all
don't-
the
she
way
says
to
she
TSA.
doesn't-
She
she-
says that, but then right before
She'll
it
be
can be.
fine.
And Wichita
They'll
Falls
be
is,
able
is,
to-
is 20 yards. It's not like she's going. If it was Dallas, we were going to have to drive her to Dallas and
Right.
walk her to TSA.
No, I get that.
I
but
think she'll
someone
just
could go
get to the
print that
thing,
out
give
for
them her
her.
driver's license. They'll take care of it all.
And I told her, use the old crippled deal. Let them know you don't walk and get along very well, and they'll let you go in. Why is that bad?
It
Use
was
that old
terrible.
cripple bit.
Use that old cripple bit.
Well, she's not crippled all the way. It's not like she's in a chair. What am I saying that's wrong here?
A 600-pound crippled lady saved Jesse from Mike Tyson.
I'm not
Probably.
sure if she's. Well, I mean, we didn't have to talk.
Well,
to her.
she saved you from everybody else on the train because she wheeled
was
up
the buffer.
and
So we
she
felt
locked that
like
aisle
she
down.
was caging us in, but you think she was?
I think
protecting us.
she was helping you from everything else because now it was Mike Tyson in the purple suit and dreadlocks and 600-pound lady in the aisle in the little motorized
A purple
vehicle.
suit.
But
Yeah, he was wearing a purple suit, like suit.
Who the fuck
And he had
buys
a
purple
stain
suit?
right by the
Probably-
business.
So you were checking out his Peter?
well, if it's a stain,
was right
then
there.
you're
in front
gonna
of
look.
us, and there's this huge stain just right there.
Did your mom ask him about it?
No, she didn't see it.
She was pretty.
That was the
speechless.
one thing she didn't.
But you
ask me
said there
about.
were like several others posted up by all the other
Yeah,
doors.
yeah, there was other junky people by the doors, and I don't know if you're just paranoid or
Pull
what,
that just
but
a little
like
closer to you.
you're looking and they're all looking at each other, and I'm like, oh gosh,
Giving signs.
they're giving each other signs. Me and mom are getting off this train, and they're about to jump us.
Seven winks and we're rolling.
I would have paid money to have some junkie talk to your mother. That would have been the funniest shit ever.
Then they said they're eating one day and a lady walks by. She's big.
Mom could no,
she has-
she wasn't big.
She
She
has
was tiny.
She
Mom
has no
couldn't-
top on.
Yeah.
so
she-
some tits were bouncing
She
out?
walks back around.
Where the hell were y'all eating at?
And-
No, this was actually the nicest place. There's a place called King's. It was King's something. It was fresh seafood.
Is it a strip club?
Incredible. Is it? No.
She's
No,
outside.
it was like one of the nicest
is a good
places I've
buffet.
ever. No, there's a window, so she's just walking on the street.
Oh, okay. I thought she was actually
not
in your
in
restaurant.
it. No,
Okay,
she's
okay,
just
gotcha.
walking by. Mom's like, Jesse, look. I'm like, what? There's
boobs
boobs.
are out.
All I saw was boobs. I mean, just
And then
right
she-
all
and
out.
Were
then
they
she
nice ones?
No.
And then she walks
Mom
back
couldn't tell
around
if she
later
was a boy or a girl.
and she has no
Oh.
bottoms on. But what she had was like a thing. And like
It was like a jean jacket type thing.
she like had it too far pulled down when she walked by the first time, and then she readjusted and pulled up, and she had it pulled too far up, and she had no bottoms on.
Remember the guy in Seattle whose ass cheeks were hanging out the back
That was hysterical.
with no pants on
And no one
in
could
Pikes
get a
Market?
picture.
The
No, I
grandkids,
never
the
saw
grandkids all
that.
saw it. They were all
I
laughing.
didn't see
His
that.
pants had, I mean, it was like a huge sag. It was
Oh,
way past.
yeah.
But he didn't have no underwear
Yeah.
on.
But
I
No
didn't
underwear.
see a butt.
he did. I think he had
Bare
a-
ass cheeks.
I don't think. Maybe. I don't remember.
Okay.
So no, hold on. So I don't know much about it, but Jesse said, how do they get drugs if they have no money?
That blows my mind.
And
It's
I
government
I
assistance,
was like-
isn't it?
Probably.
I couldn't
in
tell if
California,
are they on drugs? Are they out of their mind? Are they schizophrenic?
Y'all are some
they
sheltered ass people.
But where do
So
they
how
get
are
their?
they-
I
How
know
do
that
you
they-
think
People
they
aren't
get
going to give them
drugs?
drugs for free.
What do you think they're doing?
I said
She
they sell
said
their
I don't-
blood.
they
There's-
sell sex.
They
They
sell their
steal.
Who wants to have
They
sex
sell
with
blood.
them?
There's
Other
somebody out
junkies?
there. There's somebody doing that.
Oof.
How do you?
Somebody that's selling drugs, because somebody that's selling drugs to me is making money.
making money.
They
There's-
have money.
there's two
Who
types
wants
of
to
them.
have sex with that kind of person?
There's two types. There's the person that's selling drugs who doesn't use his stuff that does have a lot of money, and then there's the person that's selling drugs just to be able to pay for their drug habit. That
what-
person, and then there's the person that's buying sexual favors off these people,
Ugh.
and then there's people that are stealing, selling plasma, blood, catalytic converters.
That's what I told Jesse. Makes you kind of scared about even having to ever
That ring
have
on your
blood.
finger that probably
She-
costs $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. They probably still let some bitch and do it for 5 hits at heroin
Her
and
mother
$50.
told her to roll it
Yeah.
around.
Turn it around.
Turn it
And
around.
then that's the first thing the guy at the bar said. He was like, I hope you weren't weren't flashing that thing. I said, no. I turned that around real quick.
But there's government aid for these people too, isn't there?
thought
For being
so.
crazy.
Oh, bipolar people, yeah, they get
yeah.
But
checks.
how do you get it? You have no mailbox.
There's an office, isn't there?
They probably got a card. They don't even have to get. They don't get them.
It
They don't
just
give that
updates
money to
every
you on a
month?
card. It goes on a
You don't get
cash
cash?
card. No,
I still
get an
don't
EBT card?
understand. I mean,
Cash
these
Apple?
people are like you just can't even.
Yeah, but
fathom
people
what
figure out how to work the
But
system
I'm
from
like,
a young age
they
out
don't
there.
even have a mind. How
But
do
they
they
know
figure
how to
that
work it
out?
because I'm sure the people that they go to a social security office or something like
And
that
how did they have enough mind to get
because
to the Social
they've been
Security
Because
working
they
office?
the
get
system
paid.
forever.
They did it before they got cray.
Have you you saw those tents in Seattle? Every bridge, there was a bunch of tents and shit, and in the jungle and shit.
Yeah.
Every one of those people in there are getting into the system and getting everything they can out of it. They got a system. They got a way that works. They all
And that's
know
what
the
blows
system.
my mind. Why are we on a system giving people like that money? Because I told
What are you
Andy,
going to do with them
I said,
otherwise? You just going to let them rob and steal? If you give them a little bit, maybe they won't rob and steal and pillage.
well, y'all just said they probably are doing that too.
Well, not as
Not
much
to
as
the
they
extent.
Because
I think we need to
I
just
told-
leave them for
I
their
told
own.
Andy, I
You
said,
think so?
I think so
Yeah.
too. I'm like, it's really sad. You wish that you, because I told Mom, how can you be in a place where it's the richest of the rich and the scummiest of the scum, the lowest of the low.
That's
the
how out
the
of
junkie
touch those
and
people are.
you know, and so then you're sitting here thinking like with the Samaritan in your heart, like, oh my gosh, they should be giving these people houses. They should be, but it's
Not
like
houses.
no, that wouldn't even work.
They
They
would
would
just-
still
they
be
would just
doing
shit
what
on
they
them.
were doing.
We have the
There'd be
same
holes
thing.
in the
They
wall.
they would still. There's no way to help them. So I'm like, why are we giving them government assistance?
We have the same thing happens in Knox City, just to a
like
lesser
that.
degree. The richest people in town, all them people live over on Snob Hill,
Close
got
to
the money, by where y'all live at.
We're a
Those
block away
people-
from Snob Hill.
those
we
people-
almost made it.
But
Yeah.
you're also a block away from some people that live with don't have shit.
I mean, that's just Knox City.
Every
I was
place
gonna
is
say
that
That's
way.
pretty much the whole town.
But every town's that way. But
that-
it's neighborhoods that are that way. But
But
you
that's
go
just-
from the nice neighborhoods where you can jog at night and it's safe and you people respect each other to just 2 blocks away. They're going to shoot you on the street corner for selling fucking drugs. I mean, shit's
But
close.
that's just what makes you sad is because you think there's all this money in the world and there's all these people that don't even need what they have, but there's no way to help those
you sound
people.
like a liberal.
You're getting there.
There's no,
Jesse.
Yep.
no. I'm just saying there's no way to help them. It hurts
They don't
your
wanna
heart
help-
when
why-
you
well,
see
that's
people.
been-
Well, why can't
that's-
they help themselves?
Those are choices.
But that's what I'm saying. You can give them something because
That's
I'm
what she's
sitting here.
saying.
I'm sitting here thinking like they need some clean clothes to even get a job. I mean, they can't go get hired looking like that.
Did
They
you
can't
offer to give
walk
them your
in and
dress
get a
you didn't
job.
wear?
Dr.
No.
I
Peter,
just said, but
Dr.
they're-
Peterson says that when you're at zero, it's very, very hard to move anywhere from,
Even with
from
help.
zero.
I get that.
But as a parent, if you've got a kid that's a total fuck up and he just keeps fucking up, sometimes you got to have some tough love.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's time our government does that for some people. Because what happens is they use the kids. Well, she's got kids or he's got kids and they're homeless.
I didn't
feel
think about
sorry
that.
for the kids. But
Yeah,
there's
if you've got kids, you're definitely getting a paycheck
yeah
somewhere.
and so
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's why they have the kids and stuff. And I feel sorry for the kids because those kids, we see this right here in town. How many people do you see still living in the same Section 8 houses? We're talking 3-4 generations since I've been in Knox City. And they just keep still, they never get out of that cycle.
Yep.
Well, in LA, you've got family clans that are that way, and it's been over and over and over and over again. But eventually, as a government, we're going to have to tell these people, you know what? You got to start taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
Because
I
instead,
don't
what we
think
do
you
is
can
we just
now.
keep giving them more and more shit all the time.
You can't now. It's too
Well,
late.
and
You
that's
should have
the
done that
whole
100
thing.
years ago.
They want you dependent. They want everyone dependent on the government because then we had to do exactly what they say.
It's not 100 years. It's been since 1963 or 64 when LBJ signed it in. That's when it started. And that's also...
But it's only gotten worse.
That's
it's
right.
too late.
And it's
too late.
also...
If you're going to put that genie back in the ball, you should have done it when y'all were in high school.
But you're right. But what happened is that's when the end... That was the biggest plight for black people in our country. That and if you
They
look at
subsidized
it...
single mothers.
Yes. And that was the end. And that killed the black community because before then... The relationships with black people and their kids and families, there was more black kids born to a mom and a dad than there were white people in the 50s and 40s. I mean, they had a real community. They were a close-knit community and stuff. And then we subsidized them for everything, and it went to shit.
Yeah.
Well, and depending on what conspiracy theory you want to believe, perhaps the government introduced crack into the black community. Have you heard that conspiracy?
To make them more dependent.
No, but I watched New Jack City, and some dudes from Jamaica made a whole lot of money selling that shit.
Well,
There
they
is no
say
doubt that our government did a lot of things to the black people, the black community. That's horrible. From in South Carolina, where they castrate, or they didn't castrate them. I think they
Chemically castrated.
chemically castrated and stuff. It's horrible what we've done. We did the same thing to the Indians, not the slots,
Not
but
your
or the
favorite.
slots, not the dots.
Slots, not dots.
But we've done a lot of this kind of stuff, but we have got to get to a place, and maybe it's going to be tough for 20 years, but we got to cut off all some of this welfare
But what's
bullshit.
that going to do? So let's just say government says, okay, no more government assistance of any kind. Can you imagine what the crime rate's going to be
But
for a decade?
that to
Imagine
me too,
living
though,
imagine living in LA, and now all of a sudden you got all these crackheads that don't have a pot to piss in and nowhere to go get any
Now, a
sort
lot
of
of
money.
them are. A lot of those people don't get that. I would bet you, if you looked up the percentage of the homeless in LA that are on some kind of government subsidies, other than some food stamps, I'll bet you they're not getting a whole lot of money.
well, and I'm sitting here
They're getting
thinking,
enough to support their habit.
They
If-
steal and shit for
if
that.
something like that happens, don't you think people are going to start shooting people? I mean,
It's
the
gonna
people
be
who are
anarchy.
getting, I mean, the people who are getting robbed from, the good people who are getting robbed from, they're going to not put up with it. They're going to come to a point that they're going to
San
listen.
Francisco,
I'm not standing for this anymore.
San Francisco is going to become a ghost town pretty quick, and it's getting there
got to
fast.
be that
People
way
have
anyway.
people have had enough of it. I mean, you think about this morally. We are providing safe places for people to shoot up heroin and meth in these towns.
Yeah.
We're giving them clean those. This sounds absolutely horrible, and I really
boy,
don't
I
give.
can't wait for
You're
this.
gonna
I don't really give two shits. Why do I give a fuck if someone jabbing a needle of heroin between their toes has got a clean needle or not? Why?
Don't.
Well, you shouldn't.
Well, because
What do you mean
I
a
mean,
clean needle?
They want to make sure they get a needle so they don't get
everybody gets clean needles so that you don't
if they go to the right
spread
place.
disease.
so they don't spread disease.
Where's
re-
this at?
everywhere.
Big cities.
You can probably
get
go
a
to
clean-
Wichita Falls or Abilene and find a place that has clean needles for junkies.
I guess the way they're looking at it is they're not going to have to provide.
You
know,
passing out condoms?
Go ahead.
Got no problem with that. Did I cut you off?
You said you don't have a problem? Good. I thought you
Passing
were.
out condoms? No.
Yeah.
I have a problem with clean needles.
They're not going to use it.
Now, go ahead, Michelle. I'm sorry I cut you off.
I lost my train of thought. I'll remember it tomorrow.
Okay. So, anyways, I don't know how we've gotten onto these junkie. Did you find the percentage on that,
LA?
Andy?
I'm trying to find it.
Discussing
I
LA.
can't.
Well, I'm telling you one thing. After going there, it very much so made me think, why do these people who have all this money,
Choose to live there.
like, why are they here?
The weather.
Because literally just the weather. Because
That's what
even the
my-
beaches look like a lake.
Huh?
Yeah.
Not
In
pretty
Long
water.
Beach,
was
it wasn't
nasty.
pretty water. It was brown water.
Well, the Texas coast is not real pretty water either.
Sometimes.
Not like Florida or Puerto Rico or Costa
No, but that's what I'm saying. Why do you have all the money in the world? And of course, their jobs. You know, their
The cost of living out there is so
industry
fucking
and-
high.
Exactly. I'm like, why do people choose to live there? It blows my mind.
That's what people in LA are saying about living in Knox City. Why the hell they
the
live in
fuck
Knox
do they
City? They
live
don't even
there?
have no beach there. Let me ask you this.
Yeah, but you can save a lot of money on living and go to any beaches in the world you want because your cost of living's
Right.
And,
way cheaper.
And your kids are safe.
but
Yeah.
you've been to a third world country this year. You've been to Mexico,
Oh, okay.
and now you're going to
like,
Costa
where?
Rica
That's next year.
or next year. But that's the, I mean,
Is that
what's-
considered a third world country?
yes,
Yes.
both of them are.
Well, I mean, I knew Mexico was.
Old Mexico, not New Mexico.
Yeah.
New Mexico's third world in some parts, though. I'll give you that. But but the danger place, Costa Rica, is probably more dangerous than LA is, percentage wise.
I looked it up. It says it's really safe.
Well, yeah, that's someone that's trying to say that. The also person told you to ride on that tram, the metro,
Tram.
the metro. How many people told you when we went to Puerto Rico? Oh my God, how bad it's going to be. And there are places
I
in
don't
Puerto
think
Rico that's
anyone-
really bad. But I didn't see any of it
Didn't
where
go
we
to
were.
any of 'em.
And
No,
we
I
went.
researched that too, and they said it was really a safe place to go.
I never had anyone say, "Oh, don't go there; it's awful."
San Juan
No.
was nice.
But, yeah, I would do San
I
Juan.
mean, me and
again.
Michelle went to the grocery market. I never felt uncomfortable there.
What?
We went to the grocery market the first night in San Juan. I didn't feel bad or
No,
nothing.
that wasn't in San Juan.
Well, it was closed. I mean, we were only 20 minutes from the airport in San Juan.
Yeah.
But it was a big metropolitan area, so it's the same way. I
I would
never.
definitely go back.
We went to
if-
Yes.
Walmart, Jeff.
Was that-
Never
that was
safe
a
in
Walmart, wasn't it?
Never safe in
Where
Walmart.
we
Yeah.
went to Walmart one time that wasn't remember, nobody was working. Where was that?
That was
at?
in Michigan.
Michigan. That was
Michigan.
during the
That was in
COVID
America.
shit.
Yeah.
One lady.
The real American.
They had one lady working in the whole store because I asked her. I said, "Don't you feel dangerous?" No, but how in the hell you got? That was
It's
in
just you.
that was in Sheboygan, West Michigan. Y'all are bad influences. 'Cause I don't ever go to Walmart. I've been to Walmart twice. One in Puerto
Sometimes-
Rico and one in Michigan. That's
Oh, I
probably the only
didn't-
two I've been to.
I didn't even go to that Walmart.
There were no more choices.
No. And when you travel, it does. You know you're going to be what you're going to be able to find.
And actually, we found more in Puerto Rico
Yeah, there was
than what you find on our shelves here.
what
This says the divorce rate amongst blacks is 70%,
now.
but I can't find what it was in the 50s and 60s.
It wasn't nowhere near like that.
In the video, it did tell us correlations.
They had a real family structure then.
Well, I think
would
everybody
just
did.
say-
I was about to
gonna
say that.
Well-
I feel like that's in any. I mean,
No,
divorces
but
skyrocketed.
but the percentages after they passed the Civil Rights Acts or whatever it was really changed the family dynamics in the black community. In neighborhoods, even when I was a little kid, you go to the east side of Wichita Falls, and they had their own area that they would. It was a black barber shop, a black butcher shop, a black deal. The teachers, the doctor, everybody, and there was not a problem. Sometimes I think all the was it segregation? What is it when they
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Was that because of segregation?
But everybody, but it worked better in some places. You could go wherever you wanted to go the whole time, but the black people had their own thriving communities within the communities. And when they did all this, it killed all of it. And I really think it was bad. I watched I watched a docuseries on Malcolm X one time, and I'm not a big Malcolm X guy, but some of Malcolm X's thoughts, as radical as they were pretty interesting. Some of the things he thought of, but it showed the dynamics in the black community, and they were better off before they integrated in a lot of places. I mean, you go to Harlem, they're redoing it now, but it was a shithole for years after all that happened. Good or bad, whoever's fault it is, but just a shitty. What are you doing, Andy? Messing with the cameras? Okay, Michelle, you want to talk? So I'm going to give you a chance here real quick. You ready?
Go ahead.
You're not?
Interviewer.
I won't answer if I don't want to.
Okay.
I'll tell you that now.
Since February 1st, you have been off work for 6 months.
You say that.
Well, she's no.
What do you mean,
I'll be women's rights over here.
She hasn't been to the lodge to work.
She's
I didn't
never.
say-
She's never off
I
work.
have
No.
not drawn a check.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Our house is clean. The food. I mean,
You should
yeah.
start paying me
She
better.
works hard at the house. I'm not talking about, but the paid work.
Go ahead.
Okay. You've traveled a bunch of stuff. What's the favorite place you've been to this summer or this off season?
And it wasn't Tijuana, or that was last
That
year.
was 2
Yeah,
years
it
ago.
was-
I don't know if I could. I don't know.
Do you want me to recap them for you?
I remember Mexico twice, Puerto Rico, and Washington. I would just have to say Washington because everyone was there.
So you enjoyed Washington better. The weather was absolutely
Weather
beautiful
was
there.
amazing.
And the grandkids' favorite
They
trip
did.
was Washington,
That's
and
what
that really
Reese said.
surprised me.
He said Puerto Rico for a long time, and then all of a sudden he switched to Washington.
I think
don't know.
Washington's just fresher.
It's fresh
Yeah.
on his mind. I like Washington because everyone was there, pain included.
I asked Andy the same question recently. He said, depends on what you're going for. He
Right.
said, in St. Lucia, we literally had no care in the world. Everybody was waiting on us hand and foot. We got to just be me and him. And then, Mexico, we're partying with a bunch of friends.
That was a fun
and
one.
Then,
that was good. That was
yeah,
fun.
that was a lot of
I
fun.
like that.
And then he's like, and then the next one, it's all your family exploring. And, he's like, just
Puerto
how can you
Rico-
answer that
yeah,
whenever-
Puerto Rico was so
Dealer's
pretty.
choice.
I liked the
Just
snorkeling day in Puerto Rico when Andy got drunk and said octopussy a bunch. That was a really fun day.
it was a fun day.
That
Not
was
only did he say it,
beautiful water.
but it's gorgeous.
I liked me and Michelle's day in Puerto Vallarta when we went into town and explored in
That
the
was
town and
fun.
going in the old church there was absolutely beautiful.
I like to go see.
I did not like riding in the cave. That was one
Yeah.
part of Puerto Rico I did not like because the water was muddy. It was cold as shit.
Yeah.
And something crawled on my leg. I don't know what it was, but I couldn't say a word.
You didn't have a deaf guy's foot up your ass like I
Dylan
did.
was right there, so I looked down. It looked like an albino shrimp or something. I don't know what it was, but it was like crawling on my leg, and I was like, Get it off. Get it off.
Yeah, that's the one thing. It's like it's cool to say you did it, but would you do it again? No.
I would do Puerto Rico all over again, but I would not
That's
go.
what I mean,
I would not
cave
do the
tubing.
cave tube.
Yeah.
No, I would not do that again.
Bats pooping on you.
And then, well, me and Michelle went in the fall. Our fall trips are always fun because it's relaxing and it's old people stuff. I have so many people message me and they say, you know, me and my wife, we go to the old people vacations too. Old people spring break. The leaves are just beautiful. You and Andy will do that when
Spring
your
break.
kids get out.
Maybe we'll see.
You will when you get older, because right now you probably have no intention of wanting to see a bunch of leaves.
I always tell Andy when we see all these on, I'm like, will you take me there? Will you take me there? Which we all know I'm going to be the one to take him there because
I told her she could take me to Scotland.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
book
This morning he says, you can take me to Scotland. So I wrote it down to remember because I will.
There was a reel on Instagram, and it was 10 days in Scotland. Everything you need to do.
Was that not where you said you wanted
We're
to
gonna
go?
we're going next June.
So
What
see
is
there,
that
you
sort
can
of
get
about?
it all. You can get it all planned out and tell us where we need to
The
go.
things that I want to do in Scotland is I want us to fly in and get a rental car and me drive on the wrong side of the road
You do
and
that
us
anyway.
go to the backlands or the highlands, I guess is what it's called, and just go from small town to small town and see things. I don't really care about. I would like to go to Guinness. I would like. I don't care. I'm gonna buy me a.
I didn't know
one
that's
of-
where Guinness was.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy one of those beers, and I'm gonna, or Ireland is where that is. I think Guinness is in
Yeah.
Ireland, right?
Do they sell? Do they do them warm there, or is that just
I'm
a
sure.
Germany thing?
I'm gonna take a
I was
sip of it,
thinking-
and then I'm gonna tell Michelle, here, you can drink the rest of it because I know I won't like it. But
I won't
I want to go from the little pubs and drive and just stay at little hotel somewhere. And I really look forward to just going back. That's right up our alley of just going to see things. Michelle will take 12,000 freaking pictures. It's like being on vacation with Wyman Menzer or Lee Chose because she's gonna take a ton of pictures.
You have to, Jeff.
Yep, that's true. Hunting season starts in a week.
1 week.
Matter of fact, next
Oh,
week at
wow.
this
6
time.
weeks is or 6
even
days is Dove
realize
Eve.
that.
Yep.
Oof. I mean,
Are you ready for hunting season or not?
Parts of it.
Now,
Parts of it.
this year
I'm
we
ready for a schedule. I'm ready to know what day of the week it is again. Ready to see people. Our clients.
Dove season's the fun one
Yeah,
because it's
that's-
more chill.
Social. Falker will be here when?
when is Ryan coming?
The 9th.
The 9th.
Okay. Payne
So
will
we'll
be
have
here.
Payne and him here there because Payne's not going to San Antonio now. I don't think.
Oh, he's not.
Nah,
No.
there's not as
Don't
many of them
think
going
as
there, so
many
he's not
were
going. So he'll be here at the same time too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready. I'll be over it by Halloween. No, I'm kidding.
Heading
Um,
Waterfowl
I'm
had said
kidding.
heading started by
I said
then.
I'm kidding.
Trying to find that reel.
Are the grandkids excited about being out here all the time? You think?
We haven't even really talked about it, honestly.
I asked Jameson the other day if he was. And he's kind of like, huh?
Yeah. They live day to day. They'll know when
Well, that's,
when it starts.
I mean, that's hard to comprehend.
Yeah.
Like, until it starts.
Who are your favorite clients you're ready to see this season, Jesse?
We know that. Steve and Pete.
Steve and Pete.
Yep.
Chris.
We hadn't seen. This is the longest I've went without seeing Steve probably in 25 years.
Well, because Ron, I mean, he
Right.
used to.
He would come out.
He would come all the time in the summer.
You
I
don't
didn't
take his
really think
calls?
about that till just now.
I take his calls all the
You
time.
don't take his calls.
I do all the time. I just talked to him 3 days ago.
Finally.
He bitched at me about Andy.
Exactly. No, he probably growled.
No, he bitched because Andy didn't answer his phone.
He's not called me.
Well, he did, and you didn't answer.
He hadn't called me.
Oh, well, he did. I talked to him the day we got back, Tuesday. So,
Well,
Steve and Pete, what about you, Michelle?
Oh, don't make me say that.
I didn't say the ones you don't want to see, so you're not hurting nobody's
Well, I
feelings.
mean, to say favorite, and then someone's gonna be like, "Why am I
No, I
not
didn't
her
say.
favorite?"
Well, who are you looking forward to seeing?
Chris Poe, I love that group. Kunkel,
I don't think Knuckles
They're
coming
they're
this
not
year.
Coming, are they?
Knuckles, yeah, Poe is. They
Well,
come
you
in
asked-
October.
okay. Well, okay. So you're saying just Dove season?
No. I said this season. I'm asking who all.
I love our Cajuns that come cook for
I
us.
was about to say
We have a lot of
that.
those coming.
Trying to think of what that. He didn't come last year.
Mike,
yeah,
Mike
Stewart.
Yep,
No,
they
he
didn't
called and got
come.
some dates for me the other day.
Oh, it's just hard to say.
Which
but
last year's when they went through all that hurricane and stuff, didn't
There's
they?
Edinburgh.
Wasn't that last year?
Edinburgh.
That's on my list. That just looks like it's fall
I mean,
all the time.
Is it actually on a list or like
It
do I
is
need
now.
to put it on my list?
Scotland. I don't think there's a handful of places to go.
Glasgow,
Yeah.
Now, how far is that flight?
probably 8 hours.
Oh, that's not. I think it was
It won't
7
be bad
to
because
St.
we'll be in
Lucia.
first class.
Yeah, I told Andy after St. Lucia, I said, I'm not doing that again unless I can afford to pay first class.
it's not Bora Bora.
Me and Andy
Because-
flew first class the other day. It
I
was
know.
nice.
Yeah, I asked him, I said, are you going to be bougie now? And that's the only way to go.
This says 15 plus hours.
I told
There's
Jeff-
2 stops.
No shit.
Ooh.
New York City and where?
total flight time's 9 hours, but I guess there's gonna be some stops.
Jeff bumped our New York trip to first class. I said, "You're just becoming
Michelle.
rotten."
With all
What
the
I said.
drama of what happened, you were able to do that?
No, I just
He
upgraded
didn't even
us.
try that. But I said, "You're becoming spoiled. Is what you're becoming." Well, I don't see any reason to sit back there all cramped. And
It doesn't say.
Well, that's a damn good point. In first
Doesn't
class,
say
it's
what.
not as expensive. If
How
you
many
buy your
stops?
class and
Where?
upgrade, you can find some good deals. Sometimes you can't.
Every time I've looked, it's bad.
No.
So it's just you got to look at the draw.
And Andy, you should have seen Andy when the peasants walk by to the back class. He's like, look at the peasants.
And
Y'all-
we've
y'all are back
been
that way,
there.
people.
We've
Mom,
been there.
Keep walking.
Keep
I was
going.
telling
walking.
Mom,
Don't even
look.
look at
Mom
it.
said he at least should have had a Bloody Mary, so he could say he had a drink in first class.
Make no eye contact.
He had coffee.
Had coffee and water. That's
They
it.
gave it to us before the. First of all,
That's what
I
Jeff
don't.
liked.
I don't ever have coffee on an airplane because I
You'll
don't have to poop.
I was worried. I got the bubble
You
guts, and
didn't
I was
have
like,
to? Oh, no.
maybe if I pee, it'll take some of that pressure off, and it did. It worked.
And
Thank
then,
goodness.
Then Andy's like, "Why are these people from back in the back coming up to our
Why
bathroom
are
up
they
here?"
coming up
Yeah, you got one back there, bitch.
Remember that.
It's just as good.
They
Next
tell you at
time.
the beginning of the deal, there's the laboratories at the front.
Well,
there's
don't be
ones at
coming
the
up
back.
and wrecking mine.
Now, next time the kids need to use that one
Yeah.
up front, you tell them.
Y'all go to the front one because it's nicer.
Go ahead and spray everything.
And I love it when you're riding first and they give you drinks while everybody else is trying to get on the
Jeff
plane.
loved
Yeah,
it.
I didn't know
Jeff
that
loved
they
that.
did that.
I didn't
That
either.
is-
Beforehand. Yeah, we hadn't seen that, have we?
I looked after y'all's deal. I thought, hey, maybe there's some first class open.
You're on Southwest, don't have first class.
Yeah,
Yeah, they don't.
but it acted like I could upgrade for $500. Like
To what? The front
That's
seat?
what I'm saying.
No, you
See,
get to get on
like-
first.
You get to fly.
You
the
get to get
plane.
on
Like
first.
for all the flights, like to get there and to come home, it was
Pull
going
this
to
a
be
little closer to you.
It was going to be $1,800.
Yeah.
And then we get on the plane, and I'm like, there's nothing different.
No, you get on. See, when I used to fly, we used to fly Southwest a lot. It was rapid reward flight, and we had it. And so we would always get on the first 10 or 20 people on the plane. I'd always.
So
that
you're
we
going
could-
to pay $1,800.
No, I didn't have to- I didn't have to pay that
That's what
much.
I mean. For me, like, why would
Right.
I have paid $1,800? I'm like, that's still 3 seats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it was-
there's
God.
not
It
even.
was just an upgrade, is
Right.
what you could do. You could just, it wasn't even upgrade. I could just get on and get an earlier boarding priority, I think is what
And
it's
I had
called.
mixed feelings about that anyway. Like, do you want to sit on the plane that much longer because it's stuffy and it's hot and then everyone's
Not up
walking
front,
by
it's not.
you? And
Yeah.
no, I meant like the priority boarding. Not,
Right.
You've got your seats.
Oh, well,
what's it
he
matter?
means because if you're first class, you're all
Well,
spread
yeah.
out and stuff too.
But then everyone's got to walk across you.
when when
walk-
we flew home from St. Lucia, was that the one that the people could like lay down,
Yes.
like in bed?
Yeah.
That's the one. I'm like, I'm not paying for the 2-seat bull crap. Like, if I'm paying first class, I gotta.
Yeah,
I
but
get
we're
a
gonna have,
bed.
we're
you,
gonna
don't, you don't need that for New York.
Chicken
We're going to
cordon bleu.
Scotland or somewhere like that. Yes.
But like, if I'm going somewhere in the United States, like I'm fine. I'll
Oh,
sit where I'm sitting.
It doesn't bother me.
I haven't been on a flight in forever where they feed you. Now, coming back from Seattle and going, they had pre-meals you could have
If-
bought, and they bring them to you. Because I heard one guy say, the guy that was a pain in the ass that don't know how to use fucking headphones.
Diabetic back
He-
there.
he was like, "Well, I need
low
some
blood
food.
Sugar,
I'm low
he
blood
needed
sugar."
Coke. He needed popcorn.
know?
He needed just everything. He was sad he didn't know that he could pre-order.
That lady
food.
goes, "Well, would you like some juice?" Well, that doesn't help my blood sugar. I need a Coca-Cola.
That helps. I don't know. It was too fast or something. I don't know. Maybe too slow. I don't know. But
Fox asked me if I was ready front and seat. He said, it feels like you're busy right now. Now you're just adding hunting season.
right.
But yeah, there's a lot of truth to that.
And I was gonna say also on the clients and stuff. And this sounds awful, but there's so many I don't know their names. I just know their faces.
And you don't want to ask because
No.
you're like, you've known them for so long.
And Jeff
that
will be like, "Oh, da 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 da. It's gonna be here." And I'm
I'm
like,
not good with names
"Who
anyways.
in the crap is that?
Yeah.
I don't know because
Well,
I don't."
Even though you've seen them for years and years and years,
Well, and I
like
stay
you see
so
them
busy.
once a year.
Right, and I'm not
The
like,
guys that bring you 3 bottles of wine last year in the gift bag,
Yeah,
and you're like,
that's
"Oh,
it.
okay."
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, you will have to break it
If you
down
want
like
extra
that a lot.
cookies, make sure you bring Michelle a gift bag. She loves those kind.
No. But
Gets
I
brownie
mean,
points.
so when you ask who my favorites are and who I'm ready to see, I'm like, if I could remember their name, maybe. But
I've
when
got
they come through, I'll be like,
I'm
"That's
definitely
one,
that
that's
way
one,
because
that's
I'm not even a worker, so most of the time nobody even talks to me. So
Well-
I'm like, I've seen you before, but I don't even know.
And there are times I don't come out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I don't talk to people, or people will be like, "Oh, saw you back there, but didn't want to bother you."
Well, I have a long list of customers I really look forward to seeing, and I have
Okay,
a long
name
list
them
of
all.
customers. Oh, I don't do that. I've got a long list of customers that I really am not looking forward to seeing, but I am going to see them too. And there are some that are a pain in the ass, but they're
you
good
could
people.
hide in your hey.
There is no way for me to hide. I'm the last one that gets to hide from
Hi,
anybody.
oh, sometimes you do.
You know, one of the tricks I do when there's someone that's a pain in the ass out
Are
there.
you sure you want to say that?
Yeah, I don't care because they'll never know.
They won't know
But
it's them
I will
until-
walk out my office door and go around and come in the back door of the kitchen, so I don't have to go through the kitchen. Or I do that if there's a big line of people in there and you can't get around.
I try.
How are you
Jeff does that
doing
when-
that now? Because
Yeah.
that door is
Oh, a new
right by the
trick.
front door.
No. That's when everybody's in the dining hall.
Oh.
I can walk out the door and go around
To the
quicker than I can go
kitchen.
through the kitchen sometimes.
So basically, because there's a lot of times that you're like, oh, I'm busy. I got to go eat in the office.
No, I
That's
go-
a trick.
No,
Oh my
I go
gosh.
there just because I can sit down and have a dinner and it's kind
Sometimes.
of quiet.
Well, and
I can
because
come in here and eat now in the studio if
there
I
are
needed
a
to.
lot of
You
times
of all people are saying it's kind of quiet.
In my office sometimes it is.
you're
You're the one that talks.
Yeah, but I deal with people from all day long visiting, and sometimes I get 15 or 20 minutes. It's quiet that nobody's in
Yeah.
my office.
Yeah, sometimes.
and so sometimes I'll come back there and I'm like, you've got to quit hiding. You've got to come out.
I'm not hiding.
I know that, and you'll be like, I'm not
hiding.
hiding. I'm
Yeah.
just.
I can't believe you of all people ever get tired of talking.
Oh yeah, there's some times I enjoy quiet.
But then we go home and
Ask the
he keeps
guys. I
talking.
kick them out of my office every day about 1:30 and say, "Listen, you guys go take naps or do whatever. I don't give a shit, but
Well,
I got
that's
I'm in
shit.
here now.
I got stuff to do."
We got a little man cave going on in
Blake
here.
will be laid
Try
across
your
his
one.
table.
This won't be either. I'll be sitting
I
down.
was
The guides have a
Don't
new
get
lounge.
so- a lounge.
They do.
There's beer in
Oh,
there.
you call it a lounge.
Oh,
But no, there are times I'm like, Jeff, you've got to come out. People are asking for you. And I get it because there are days that he doesn't eat. And I'll get in trouble for putting food up too soon.
Yeah, that's my biggest deal. Is we'll have something I really want for dinner, and I'll be like, "Hey, we put dinner up 30 minutes ago. Everybody's fixing to leave." I'm like, "Son of a bitch."
I'll
You
drag
ought
it
to
back
know
out.
that by now.
No, it's nobody's fault. It's just I get busy. People buying shirts and stuff.
Well, and that's the thing with the kitchen people. Like they're busy too. Like
Everyone's
they're not paying
ready
attention to
get
who's
out of here by the end.
I don't blame them
eating
for
and-
that.
And so
It's-
that's why sometimes I'll come check. Did you eat?
Yeah.
No. Would you make me a salad?
because
I mean,
it's
got to
that
be eccentric. But
it's gotta be eccentric.
Dove season's the worst.
would you crumble my
Dove season doesn't bother me. I like it.
I actually love
Late.
the.
They are long days because it's not.
Oh,
It doesn't get.
Gonna get worse for gooses.
I like
also.
it because I feel like y'all actually get to like
We
be
get to do
with
more
us.
socializing,
Yeah,
hang out
you
with our
get
family.
to be with us because even like we've always talked about during like you always say like on the first family of waterfowl you were talking about how that's your family time. Well, I mean, is it really? You're still busy. So like at least during dove season, like we actually will go
Right.
sit out by the grill and
We have a lot more
some
interaction.
beers
A
and
bunch
like
more.
visit and do stuff where even
Goose season, they're
and
scouting.
that's what I
and-
always tell him. I'm like during hunting season, like that's what people don't realize. For all those months, like I only see you when everybody else is seeing
Right.
you.
And that's what
So
I'll tell
there's
Jeff.
not the one-on-one
Right.
family like for instance when we got home from Washington, like, and this is nothing ugly at all.
No, but-
like we got home and Andy was like, I'm glad to be able to just talk to you.
Well, because the
anytime
walls
you
and
try,
everything
yeah,
was so thin and it
yes,
was- everyone
anytime
was-
you try to talk, somebody else is talking to you too, or you can't go to your room because everybody else can hear you. Whatever. Well, that's exactly what hunting season is.
Oh, my gosh.
Is because it's like we're having a conversation. Everybody else is
Or the
hearing
phone
the
will ring.
conversation
Oh,
or
yeah.
in on the
Oh
conversation.
my God.
Or
Yes. I'll go home. Sometimes I'm just like, I've needed to blow up all
Yeah.
day long and
Yeah.
you're going to catch it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
and when he comes home at nap time, it's to take a nap. And when he comes home at night, it's getting our kids to bed. And then you got to go
This
to bed.
year's going to be different too because
The time
the
change.
time is going to be different.
It does
No,
it.
it's not.
It's not going to be.
We're going to be eating later.
It didn't pass. It hadn't gone through.
Yes, it did.
I thought
No,
it did.
didn't.
Yes, it did.
Get after that one because that makes my world completely different.
Yes, it is. Daylight. We're going to be eating dinner at
I think
7
it's
o'clock.
next year. I think it's 2023.
I thought it did. But I mean, there will be times, some days I'll have to write notes or put it in my phone or something.
what you
like
wanna
what I
talk
need to
about
tell
when-
him.
What am I going to chew on Jeff's ass
No,
about today?
it's like I needed to tell you something. Like something's
Yeah.
broken. Something's. Yes, it is. And Jeff's like, why is everyone just telling me? Why do you think if it's gonna be fixed
Yeah.
or whatever? But there'll be times I'll like come into the office, it's full, and I'll just turn around. He'll, what'd you want? What'd you want? What'd you want?
The Christmas lights
never
aren't
mind.
working. I hate Christmas
No,
lights.
you get that text.
And I feel like that's
Them
the
peppers
difference
are
too.
out.
And when there's a big crew working, because when there's smaller crew, you can just kind of go in there
Right.
and just talk about it. And
No, most days I'll.
The podcast has changed that because there's a lot of people that are here that are podcast listeners. So they like to come visit and talk to you about
Yeah.
stories
And
and
that's
stuff.
great.
And
That's what it's all about.
There's a lot more conversation piece when it's just like dove season. I'll give you an example. All of our dove groups are the same dove groups we've had for years, just about.
Yeah.
And we've got 12 groups of guys that are coming this year.
Am I kicking you?
2 days, 2 groups for 2 weekend groups are mixed match groups. The rest of them are all big private groups. Those private groups, they're the easiest to deal with. You got 50 guys that are all together.
Yeah.
And they do stuff and they'll have,
that's
meetings
they're coming
or whatever.
here to socialize with
Yes.
each other and to
Yes.
do their own thing.
That is an inner
and
working deal. And
get out of the city.
they
and
want their meals. They want to go hunt. And
come
most,
here and don't have to worry about
that's
anything.
right. And we do, and most all of our groups are that way this year.
November 6th, we roll back.
So we roll back November 6th.
Well.
And is that the last one we roll back on then?
I think so.
So we do.
So we will have dinner at 6
possible-
o'clock still. Thank God. I was not look. Well, I was in one thing. I was looking forward to you guys not having to start shooting birds until almost 8 o'clock in the morning. That would be nice for
I
you in
could
the
be a
mornings.
human being again.
Yes, but
Partial, or-
the nighttime dinner at 7 o'clock was going to be a pain in the ass because
and if we
sometimes
ever
it still
did
was 6:15 or
evening hunts
6:30.
or afternoon
Well,
hunts,
and with me and the kids, I always.
You would miss out some,
you would.
or you'd leave too early.
Well, like I said, if we did any kind of afternoon hunt, then it's. I mean, sometimes as it is, it's.
That's what we're gonna showcase a lot more of this on the season 2 because we're gonna do in 12 episodes. They're gonna be 20 minutes long, and we're gonna showcase a lot more of this stuff because the stuff we're talking about is stuff we're gonna highlight in the next season's episodes, and it is gonna be the boys having to go home early for dinner. Dinner's at 7 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock if it would have been because there's a lot of things that go into the hunting business that people don't realize. When we've got a ranch that we hunt on that's about 35 minutes away, about 45 minutes away. So when we hunt down there, we eat at a restaurant. Our guys do down there at nighttime just because it's too late for them to
And
get
I don't want to
8:30.
sound like I don't like feeding people.
No,
I
but that's
don't,
just but that's part of business and stuff, and it's a
just
long day.
hurts
And those
my
people don't want to wait till 8 o'clock to eat dinner either.
No, they're starving.
And it worked out really good. And so we there's different things that we do to make things work around here.
We were talking about the boys having to leave early and stuff, and reminded me of the time. I mean, used to because the kids were spread out. Andy was 10 years older than Payne, so they would stay at the house and order pizza or whatever. Remember the phone call?
About the Santa Claus?
Andy, how expensive was that Santa Claus that's sitting on that antique desk at the front of the house?
Irreplaceable.
I don't. Yeah, that's what you want to
Because you
tell
said
them. but-
antique.
Well, it was just a Santa Claus, but it was on like the antique desk. He was like,
Oh.
"Okay, I think I can glue it."
What,
I don't
what
even know
happened?
what
I
happened.
don't remember
I
that
don't
story.
know. One of the kids had broken it.
I don't remember that.
But I mean, when they get older, they do get tired of coming out.
Well, and if you've noticed, like even this last year, like at the beginning, we start guns hot. We're out here all the time, and then it's at the end. It's like because I start to notice.
Roast
Okay,
again.
no, I'm like my kids are really cranky.
Yes.
Like I get out there, and
Well,
I'm
there
really having to like be on them, and like they're real cranky and real picky and real needy and real
And getting
and
by
so-
with everything out here.
Yeah, and
guides are working
What do you
them
mean
up.
get by
and-
with everything?
Well,
They get by with everything.
What?
Yeah. Like I've always said, there's a difference in like every now and then they get candy and they get the treats
Right.
and they get blah, blah,
Walking in the
blah.
door.
And
Here,
then it's
strawberry
here,
shortcake,
it's
Judge, or-
lunch and
yeah.
it's supper and it's constantly like people here. Do you want a Coke? Do you want this? Do you want that? And
How about
then they're
Arnold
like,
Palmer?
yeah, they're like,
sensory overload.
by the end of it, sensory overload,
Yeah.
spoiled
They're
rotten.
tired from school.
I'm the one who gets to deal with it because he's not there. And then
I give them discipline out here all the time and get on to them about everything.
If
If
bothers
they're not walking a straight line, I get on to them. Them boys listen
Yeah.
to me.
you stir
Yeah.
them up.
yeah.
How?
So there becomes times where I'm like, okay, it's
We're
time
gonna
for
stay home
me
a
to
day.
just
Yeah.
stay home
We're gonna
because
stay
this
home.
is a lot.
I do not
And
stir
it's
them
nice.
boys up.
I mean, I used to stay home
Yeah, I'm sure you used to have.
every once in a while.
I wouldn't. I mean, for me, I wouldn't necessarily say nice. It's not that I totally enjoy it because I mean, I do.
peaceful.
Yeah. It's just
Like, oh my gosh, I can put my feet up.
It,
Like,
like,
the first few days
sets it
after
back
hunting
together.
season's over, you kind of course, he's ready to go travel. And I'm like, Jeff, I just want to sit.
Yeah.
I just want to sit.
I want to go do shit before we die. We're old.
We're gonna, but we can wait a week
What-
after hunting season. Like
Well-
I literally like.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but I've got plans for us a week after season started, so we're done. Season
not
ends on
talking at
Sunday.
all.
We're leaving on Tuesday.
You're not talking at all.
It's because he's listening to y'all rant and rave.
I'm listening, trying to find picking my shots.
He's
Picking
fixing
your
it.
battles?
Yeah,
Shots.
he's doing some. He does this shit all the time to try to come up one on me. What'd I say that's wrong?
That's what I'm trying to find if we are falling back
Daylight.
in
Well,
2023.
you don't have long to come up with whatever because I'm about to have to go.
Well, there you go.
Where do you got to go? You got to work.
Yes,
gotta work.
I got to work.
4 o'clock.
Someone's got to work. I don't.
True.
I don't do it.
And I already put together supper. So
Leftovers, don't ask.
We had hot dogs for lunch. Pretty good.
I love
dogs
hot
are not
dogs.
terrible.
I would
What
eat
are you
hot
making
dogs
for
a lot.
supper?
Chicken Florentine.
What is that?
Chicken with spinach.
Andy's favorite.
Chicken with spinach.
What do you?
Bow tie
What,
pasta.
Paula Dean
What did I
recipe.
just say?
I don't know. I would listen.
Leftover. There you go.
So what are we having? What leftovers?
And
Whatever's
Chicken
left over.
Florentine. It doesn't. I don't feel like it'd be up your alley. You don't love casseroles. It's a casserole thing.
Some
But you're
casseroles I
welcome to
do.
come.
I've got a podcast, another podcast. Well, I'm going to be on another group's podcast. I'm their guest today, so I get people to ask me questions.
We watched the Manti Teo documentary. That poor dumb bastard.
I could not watch it. Is it good?
Why couldn't you watch it?
I just the whole thing, knowing that he was a dumbass, I just can't.
3
That's what
years.
I said. That blows my mind. Like, I understand. Like, I really do think he was played, but I don't understand how you can go for 3 years and, oh, my FaceTime won't work. Oh, I don't have good service. Oh, I can't meet up with you this weekend. I
So
don't
for
have
3
the
years,
money.
this dude
Or
pulled him around.
yeah, 3 years.
Who is the dude? Does it ever show him?
Yeah, it show. Yeah, he
Transgender.
Yeah, he interviews. He interviews the whole time, and like says like he had no involvement in this. Like I totally pulled one over on him.
Wow.
A guy that's a middle linebacker at Notre Dame, that's a high school college All-American, that's going to be a top 5 draft pick in the NFL draft. He can't get laid from no girl on school. So
Oh
he's
no,
gotta-
no. He was getting laid.
So he was.
Oh, he
cheating.
was?
He was cheating on the
Fuck yeah.
transgender guy.
Do you know that? Like
He all
there's-
but said it. He said his senior year that he was just going crazy, and that was when Renai felt threatened and
did
died
all
the
this
first time.
stuff.
Whoa, hold on. So the girlfriend that died and his mom that died the same day.
No, his grandma.
The
Grandma.
grandma
His grandma.
died. Is it the transgender dude that faked to death?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
He faked 2 deaths.
It was it was the most unlucky
Whoa.
lady ever.
His own
She-
twice?
She, was
Yes.
in a car wreck, and then
That's Renai.
she recovered. She recovered from the car wreck, and then
Had leukemia.
Died
from leukemia.
Yeah.
And then came
And then
back
came
from
back from
leukemia.
the dead.
Came back from
and that's
leukemia.
when the red flags.
That's when he was like, "This is getting a little bit weird."
So he's dating Shemale there or Shim.
Yeah,
But he never
show
sees
what-
him.
Show
Never.
what? That's the actual
The devil.
What
Yeah.
picture did she play like she was looking like?
that lady down there.
yeah, her. Oh,
No, you clicked the wrong one.
I do that all the time.
Oh, it's up there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
She ain't very pretty there either.
it's better than what it became.
And I said,
He
this
had
is
voicemails from her and
this
everything.
This is bad to say, but so
Say it.
this is so Renai right here. That's an ugly chick,
Oh
That's
God.
what
And
I'm
he-
saying.
but they showed Manti's family the night he got drafted. There was another lady that looked just like her. I mean, it is not a
see
good looking.
that.
Well, he's not a pretty guy. He looks just like her.
No, but I mean, it is not a good
You
looking.
could say that's before Fat Walkers to this guy here went and worked out. That's what it looks like.
Okay, so
But-
here, how do you think you're not going to hell for faking your death?
Twice.
Twice. I mean, and how do you think you're
Oh,
not going to get
She says she
hit
she
by
felt a little
bus?
bad a couple times.
yeah.
It's a shim. Was it a guy or a girl?
Guys, this guy.
Oh my word! I mean, would you not walk around the rest of your life thinking I'm fixing to get struck by lightning
a
or a
mess.
bus is
But
gonna hit me?
Does he have a girlfriend now?
I don't know.
He had a wedding ring on.
Manti was doing what he does at Notre Dame, and then
Well, he said what he
Right.
liked about it is that he really wasn't in a position to have an actual like go see all the time girlfriend.
Did he ever see her?
No,
In
never.
3
FaceTime-
years.
FaceTime was always messed up.
Yeah, she always
something
had
was
an
always-
excuse.
What a fucking dumbass.
Something was always wrong. So when he was
very
becoming
wrong.
Manti at Notre Dame, Renai got jealous, had the car accident, and then
Didn't make it.
came up with leukemia, and then like, so he would get. Renee had it to where he would get on the phone as a cousin of what Lene was the fake girlfriend's name.
Renee and Lene.
Yeah,
And
Renee.
Renee was Lene's cousin.
You're gonna mess that up.
So the cousin he'd be like, okay, man, I'm putting you next to Lene, and then he'd be like,
For what?
The
Because she's
ventilator.
dying.
And
She's dying. She
and-
had a car wreck. Yeah.
yeah, in the hospital.
Yes, that is
Yes.
terrible.
And then Manta'd be like, Lene, baby, I love you. Like, if you can hear me, like, just pull through. You're strong. I love you. I love you.
she'd
And
say,
then, like, all of a sudden,
Manti.
you'd hear, and then Manti's like, I'll call you every single day. Like,
Until
I'm
you
helping
get better.
her. I'm helping her. And then you'd hear,
I got this kicked.
and he'd call back every single day. And then finally, they were like, I don't know what you've done, but like it's a miracle.
What a twat-sickle.
Lene is awake.
So when all
But
this
we got
came,
bad news.
We got to get him on the. We got to get him on the
When
podcast.
when all this came out,
Damn it.
he's like, because everybody's like, he's gay. Like he's covering this up. He's gay.
Said he was sleeping with Renee.
Yeah.
And was trying
So
to cover
he's
it up.
like, I've got all these voicemails of a woman talking to me. And so he plays all the voicemails.
And it was.
Sounds like a woman. And even all these voice analysis people are like, there's no way that that's that guy.
So-
There's no way.
And then he did it on the Dr.
he
Phil
did
show,
it.
and
he did
it was him.
And it was freaking him.
So what happened to Manti? He's out of football now, right? Injuries.
No, he said ever since then, like it just.
Hadn't been the same.
He said his first preseason game, he's standing on the sideline
away.
and he's looking across, and he said everything goes numb from his knees down, and his hands go completely numb.
God got you.
And he's like,
He didn't
"What?"
do nothing wrong. He got catfished.
He's like, what the fuck is going on? He's like, I've never had this before.
She
And
put
then
a
he
spell
said
on him.
he would miss a tackle, and then he'd be like, fuck, do you know your assignment? Like, okay. And he said he was just so inside of his head for the 2 or 3 years he was in the NFL, he never could.
And that's
never
what's
could
crazy
come
too.
back.
You say the catfish deal, like, because now, like, catfish is a big thing.
big thing.
And he's like, I was the freaking first catfish
I was
person.
the first person.
Like,
He didn't know
that
any
wasn't
better.
it.
He's
that
a
wasn't
fucking
the
idiot.
thing.
Who's got a guy like that has got a girlfriend that he never sees or
Yeah.
that's just a dumbass.
That's it. Andy
He-
was like, listen,
I'm
if I'm with
going-
you for 3 years, like,
I'm
I'm
gonna
going to need
see
some
you.
nude pictures.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see you.
He has got some serious,
she could have sent him
serious
something.
issues when it comes to needing someone in his life.
I think probably
He
now
does.
that he says like he was doing his
Cover
own thing
up
too,
of
like it was probably nice to have that because you got to think of the age.
He's
Think
19
back-
years old.
yeah.
20 years old.
Yes, and I think back to so it was nice for him to like have that steady person
be able to say
who was always giving him the courage and the confidence and I love you and you're amazing and blah blah blah. But then it was also nice to like you're
play.
in California and I'm doing my thing with these other girls.
See if he's married now.
And
I
that
don't know
was
what
pretty
his wife
sure
looks
he,
like.
he is.
okay, but you said that everyone said maybe he was gay and trying to cover it up.
I don't think so. Just from reading, like, watch his deal. Like
I mean,
he
but
doesn't.
why else would
seem-
he not insist on, like Andy said it, or Jeff or whoever? I'm going to need some nude
'Cause I-
pictures.
think he was doing?
Well,
his
he could
own
have got it
thing.
from somebody else.
Well, she
I think
was
he didn't need the
obviously gonna
pictures if-
send them,
That's
but
his wife.
you would.
And he met her.
Is it really a girl?
He didn't meet her.
Say Michelle.
I mean,
She looks a whole lot Lena,
I'm assuming. I don't know.
man, child, whatever.
But
She might come out here and whip your ass. You might want to watch what you say, Michelle.
those Samoans are big.
Some big old fucking bitch comes out of a door. I want to looking for Michelle. If you think I'm going to lie and say you're not here, I'm going to say, hold on, she's in the back. Let me get her for
I'm
you.
gonna say she's now Michael, and he's right there.
But they, but so Deadspin got a hold of the article, and they said the whole reason that they ran with it was because his girlfriend and his grandma died the same night and came back to life. But
Nobody
they-
knew that
Did
yet.
grandma come back too, or she's
No,
still gone?
she's still dead.
Okay.
So confused.
But they Deadspin wanted to
Wow.
throw egg in the face of like ESPN and just all the major news networks that propped this guy up and ran with this story without doing any homework on whether or not it was fake. So they were like, listen, we've got 8 employees. Let's throw a little bit of shit at ESPN and Fox News and CNN that propped this guy up and ran with a fake story without checking
Right.
anything about it. So they said that was what we ran the story for. And then all of a sudden, like,
Go to her
Manti's
Instagram.
getting
Andy.
made
Gotta
fun
see
of.
this, like for real, see this. I need real.
It's only 2
glasses.
episodes.
Yeah, well, we couldn't get
2
into
episode.
that. What was it? How to Change Your Mind or something?
Yeah, I didn't
You
like
gotta
it.
watch.
We
some
couldn't-
We
stuff.
just
couldn't-
we only watched one of them. It was interesting.
We couldn't get into it. I like her nails. I'm just gonna say that
her.
now.
No,
He
it's-
he looks much better now. He got his teeth fixed.
Yeah.
Then that down there is the new one.
Yeah, that's his wife.
Okay.
But
Well,
Manti. So
she's not a bad looking
okay,
woman.
she's cute there.
Yeah.
I liked her nails.
Well, he's a big fucking guy.
Ooh.
So he was a 2nd round draft pick. If that had not happened, would he have been top 10?
He's out of football. He only lasted 3 years, so who knows?
But they said he lost the locker
Credibility.
room.
I think that
Oh, I bet.
if he wouldn't have been FaceTiming with the shim the whole time,
He didn't FaceTime.
Yeah.
Well, he
her
tried.
FaceTime never worked.
if this story wouldn't have come out, he got hurt to his senior year. I think at the last bowl game or
Well,
something.
and they got blown out by Alabama.
Yeah, but he was I don't know. You know, it's so hard. There's so many great college football players that are not great pro players. He made 3 years. He was a 2nd round draft pick, so he made $3 or $4 million. He had a good life, a good start to life.
Speaking
And
of
plus,
NFL,
people make fun of him all the time everywhere he
of course.
goes.
They
That,
did.
yeah,
Poor
you know
fucker.
you'd be heckled.
Because I know I would, unless he
Inside-
was here personally. Then be like, "Them are assholes that do that to you."
What do you
sir."
think his net worth is right now?
3.2 million.
Oh, you saw my screen?
No, how close am I?
3.5.
I'm pretty close.
Really?
That's it.
Yep.
You better save.
CTE, and he's got 3.5 in the bank.
He's got CTE,
I'm
What
sure.
does that mean?
Chronic.
traumatic encephalitis, or some shit. I don't know.
Encephalitis.
Some
What does that
shit.
mean?
It's brain damage.
They said like
Football
That's
players
why they
have
have
it.
to wear the new little marshmallow.
chronic
things.
traumatic
just for practice.
encephalopathy.
was
So do
close.
you get compensation for that? Like, why does it say
Doubtful.
They're
that?
trying to.
That's when you were talking about that he got hurt.
No.
No,
Well,
no,
it's
no, no,
just a
no. He got hurt. He
continual-
had shoulder injuries or some shit or something. I don't remember what happened to him, but he was out of
Oh.
football. But he started for the Chargers. He played for the Chargers, didn't he?
Yes.
So I thought, what was you going to say, Michelle?
Okay, so speaking of football, y'all watching Last Chance U?
No.
Yeah.
Not
Oh,
Last Chance
that's
U.
not-
Hard
no, no, no,
Knocks.
Hard Knocks.
Yeah,
Hard
Hard
Knocks.
Knocks.
Y'all are watching that? Did y'all watch the last episode?
Did we?
Oh,
I did.
Did y'all
fuck.
start the last episode?
No, it
I
must have been
watched it.
somebody else.
On
I
the
watched it.
freeloaders account?
I watched it.
It was on the Freeloaders account?
Did you watch
I
the whole
guess.
thing? Or did you miss part of it? Like,
Why?
Because the other day, me and Michelle are going to watch it. Michelle's ready to go to bed. She's like, golly. I said, let's just watch it. So we turned it on to watch it.
No, I wanted to tan.
Yeah, she wanted to tan. And she's like, okay, gosh dang it. So she gets all her shit in there, her foot
It
scrub
took
and
a
all of her
while.
shit.
No, it wasn't foot scrub.
She gets all her shit in there to get all dolled up for the night. And so we turn it on, and it goes right into the football game. So we
Which we
start
didn't
watching
think
it.
a thing about
It's
it.
about 15 minutes. All of a sudden, it's the end
We
of the
already
show.
knew who
I'm
won.
like, what the fuck? I said,
Was that?
someone,
I wasn't home.
someone
so-
had already watched fucking 3/4 of
Yeah.
it. And so I just turned it on and wasn't paying attention.
Jeff was like,
Was that us?
why did
I
they
guess.
start? Like, well, he was like, that's, I looked at him, I said, so that's it? Because we already knew the Lions
Yeah.
won. And I thought maybe that they were starting at the game and then can tell like who they cut or whatever.
That's funny.
And like 15 minutes and it was over and I was like, that's
What?
it? And Jeff was like, I bet one of those other MFers started this on that.
Yeah, I
One of
did.
those other
Yeah,
freaks.
I watched it all. It's really good.
Yeah. Well, we must have
Well,
plugged into it about the same
I
time
think
you
you
did.
watched the end of it last night.
Yeah.
Last
Okay.
15
Well, the
minutes.
last 15 you didn't watch is what we watched.
I fast forwarded right where I needed to go.
Well,
good.
anyways, when we
But
started it,
it's
I knew I was at the game.
just
Yeah.
started right there at the game. And I was like, oh yeah, Jeff,
He
you
watched
were
that
gone.
when I wasn't home.
And because they were gone, and I was like, yeah, the Lions won. And so then I thought it was going to be like who got cut. And
This says 99% of NFL players have CTE, 88% of CFL players have it, 64% of semi-professional players have it, 91% of college players have it, and 21% of high school players have CTE.
you may.
Might
Those
have. That's
crappy helmets
almost
y'all wore.
I mean, it's 1 in 5.
Was that got what, 2 concussions? One?
Not good.
that we know of, who knows?
Well, Andy got one that we
Not
know
good.
of. That night he got
Um,
his chin split open.
Dan Campbell, he's a goon dick.
I like him.
He's a
Shut
Is
up.
that
dick.
the coach?
He's from Texas.
I like him.
I like him. He's,
He's
a
a
good.
good- he's
he'll
a
say
good
the F
dick.
word.
How many wins do you think they get this year?
4.
They're gonna be my.
I bet you they get 6.
We started to do the. Andy said there was a challenge where you could take a shot every time he said
says
man.
man.
And I said, let's go do it.
He said he rattled off like 3 in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I like
Holy
him. No,
I was
he
like,
does.
never
say
mind.
it.
I'm about to be dead.
Did y'all see the comedian that went in there and roasted him? He's like,
No.
Where's
That
Dan
was
Campbell
probably
at?
at
That
the
was
part
probably the
that
parts
you
that you
enjoyed
watched
that
we didn't get to watch.
He
to
said, "Where's Dan Campbell at?" He said, he's bigger than shit." He said, "But I gotta tell you, Dan, those last 6 up downs, they didn't fucking count. Like your chest wasn't. You were doing yoga, Dan."
Well, his wrist was thought.
He said,
thought
"Yeah,
it was
you're old as
broken.
shit. Your wrist ain't fucked up." All right, here we
He
go.
tripped on a dog.
Tripped on a dog. That's a loss.
Hold on. Let's name who it is because people that aren't watching the deal don't
sorry.
know. Lions and Eagles.
ow,
Loss.
Loss.
Commanders, Lions. I'll give it to the Lions.
I'll
1 and
just
1.
say it. I can't see.
Okay.
Lions, Vikings. That's a loss. 1 and 2.
They beat Seattle.
2 and 2.
They lose to Patriots.
2 and 3.
Dallas plays to the
and
level of whoever the
That's
fuck they're
loud.
playing.
2 and
so
4.
who knows?
2 and 4.
You said Dallas lost another player?
Yeah, they lost Tyrone Smith.
2 and 5. 2 and 6. 2 and 7.
No, they're going to beat the Bears. Bears are going to suck.
2 and 7.
Watch that. I thought they were going to be better.
3 and 7. 3 and 8.
Jaguars, chance to win.
I'll give it to them. 4 and 8.
Okay, there's 4 games already.
4 and 9.
Okay.
That's a toss up.
5 and
I'll give it
9.
to
They'll
them.
beat the Jets.
5 and 9.
Panthers might not be good either.
That's a loss. That's 5 and 10. Loss.
So 5 games already. I bet they win 6. Look
You
up.
could.
Look,
I mean, I could-
look
I
up the
could- I could-
Patriots schedule
And it's
real quick.
automatically better than last year.
I could see. I mean, yeah. 5 to 6 wins.
Is he a new coach? Is this his first year?
No. second year.
Oh.
This is, but I think this will be it.
But I just like his
I
whole
don't think so.
staff.
You don't think so?
Nope, I think he gets another year. Especially if they win 5 or
If he
6
makes
games. Yes.
improvements.
Yeah. These people that own these teams get rid of these coaches all the time. If you don't have a quarterback, you're not going to win.
Well, if you don't keep anybody, you're not going to build a program
That's right.
either. I
New-
mean, if you're flip flopping,
New England, they play the Dolphins in Tua, they win. They play
Who?
Who? The Patriots win. Defense.
I think they split.
I read a deal on him the other day, and they were talking about how good he is with quarterbacks that aren't very good.
Okay, we'll give
Okay.
him a win there. Right there.
Okay, the Steelers with Mitch Trubisky or that rookie kid, that's 2 wins. They're going to lose
2
to
and
the
1.
Ravens, 2 and 1. Packers will be 2 and 2. Lions 3 and 2. Browns 4 and 2. Bears 5 and 2.
6
Jets
and 2.
6 and 2.
6 and 3.
Jets again 7 and 3. 7 and 4. 7 and 5. He'll kill. Kyler Murray's not that good.
7 and 6.
7 and 7. 7 and 8. They're going to win 8 or 9 games this year, just because he's going to have. They got so many young quarterbacks to play against. If you're in the AFC East, and you've got the Jets and the Dolphins, there's a chance because I don't know if the Dolphins are going to be any good.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right. Thank y'all for listening to us. If you haven't checked out season
it?
1 of The First
Guess
Family,
so.
Jesse's got some more to go.
Oh.
Yeah, Jesse's got to
I
get.
mean, y'all can keep.
It's
I gotta go.
3:40.
Gave us the high
Facials.
sign.
She's
Yep.
got facials to give.
Yep, facials to give.
Better to give a facial than to get one.
I don't know how much wine Michelle's had,
No,
but she's
you
been
used to
acting weird.
hate that word.
That is a horrible word.
You used to hate
What
it.
I'm doing.
Jesse, don't say that. Don't say that.
You're giving them. You're not getting them.
Say use an aesthetic term.
So to
That
embarrass.
is the term.
Okay,
That's
you
it.
say I'm
A
popping pimples.
microdermabrasion facial.
That's better. Just microdermabrasion
Why do you think they have the big signs like that say facials?
to get people to go there, and then they get awful disappointed. All right, thank y'all for listening to us. God bless y'all. Have a great weekend. Is this coming out? Yeah, this comes out this week, right? Have a great weekend. See you next week. Bye.
Bye. See y'all when we see y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, go check out all of our wonderful sponsors before you leave. Go check out Gundog Outdoors, Shin Gear Waders, Lucky Duck, Looking Glass Duck Club Podcast, Alpha Outdoor Specialties, Pacific Calls, Dive Bomb Industries, Boss Shot Shells, Bangtail Whiskey, Stanfield Hunting Outfitters, Dirty Duck Coffee, Double T British Kennels, and Ducks Unlimited.